children are educated to hate. I saw this years ago, and it struck me as being too little too late. I said, you got a whole new generation of children being raised up in Gaza who are being educated to celebrate the hating and the killing of the Jews. Now, if you raise a child to hate, you're going to create a pathology in your culture. This is why the first two waves of military that came out of Gaza into the Israeli kibbutzes and communities that were killing and raping were followed by a wave of citizens, of cheering people that followed the third wave out with cell phones, calling home and bragging about how they were taking out the Jews. The Bible says the day will come when they'll kill you thinking they're doing God a service. The point is, Egypt doesn't want these people because they're not really a neutral people that are looking for a free homeland. When I was in Samaria just a couple of weeks ago, I woke up to the news that we had 5 buses designed to have children going to school, 50 children per bus. And the buses were all wired to be bombed, but they mistakenly set the bombs for 9 o'clock p.m. on 2 of the buses, so they blew up, and immediately the Israeli IDF went and disabled 3 other bus bombs that were set to go off at 9 a.m. Folks, this is in the Samaria, Judea area, which you would call it the West Bank. It's on the other side of Israel, over here, and then you got the West Bank over here. Israel has a problem, and the problem is that, just telling you, 70% of the Arab community was surveyed about what they felt about the Gaza attack, and 70% actually felt sympathetic, believe it or not, for the Palestinian cause, still, even after the attack. Well, that tells you that Israel has a problem because they want to live peacefully with their Arab community, but that will never happen as long as there is a hope that they can consolidate power and annihilate the Hebrews. I'm telling you, it goes down to the education process, the education mountain, and the willingness to train children in how to think differently. Now, this doesn't represent all the Palestinians nor all the Arabs, because I've got Arab mayors and Arab friends that I work with in Israel that don't represent that. I'm probably hanging out with the 30% that don't agree with, what's happened in Gaza. But how would you like to live there, knowing that you're working next to an Arab and they're 70% of the population, you're 30% of the population, or they're 80%, you're 20% in certain cities, in areas that I was in. You're working side by side, and you're thinking to yourself, I don't know if they're sympathetic with people killing me or not. That's not a healthy place to be. The only hope, if you want to pray for the peace of Jerusalem, Israel has to own Samaria and Judea. There'll be a big problem when it's announced. But there can be no 2 states, because if you have 2 states, you have what happened in Gaza. You have a state that has radical elements that want to eradicate your existence. You can only have 2 states if they both want to live together and love together and work together and mutually support it. Hey there, you just listened to an excerpt. That's a little bit of the podcast. So if you want to get the whole thing, because there's a lot more content there, go to lancewallnut.com/podcast. And instead of getting an excerpt, you get the entire message.